Hey, this is Matt Budget Boosting here, and today I'm going to show you what's been done to the Buick so far since the last Buick video. This is the 1980 Buick Regal Sport Coupe with the 3.8 draw-through turbo carbureted V6. So, as you can see, I put some racing stripes on it, and you'll see some pictures of that process when I put some racing stripes on it, just for looks, because it kind of added a little something to the car. I shined up the bumpers a little bit, and the little eye chrome, the chrome on the headlights around there, just to kind of make it look a little better. Because the car's not really much of a looker yet, but I'm working on it one step at a time. And another thing I've done, we open the hood here, and we can see I did an intake on it already, because the factory had a little hole about yay big it breathes out of, and now it's breathing out of a whole filter right there and going to the stock hose to go right to the 4-barrel carburetor. I also put a little manual boost controller on there just to control my boost just a little bit better than from the factory. And, you know, it's cleaned up a little bit here, looking good. And also changed the front disc brakes and rotors because it wasn't braking all that good, so it's got brand new rotors and pads and front bearings, inner and outer wheel bearings. Of course, the nice tires and wheels I put on from the 87 Buick. And we put new axles on it. So we've got brand new rear axles because we rebuilt the entire rear end. It's a GM 7.5 differential, so we put an Auburn locker in it, 373-to-1 rear end gears, new axle shafts, new lugs, new studs, and new drum brakes, new shoes, and new wheel cylinders. So we pretty much rebuilt the entire rear end, so this thing stops really nice now. Another thing that needs to be done, I just got a new sway bar today. It's kind of sitting over there in that box for the rear, because this car didn't come with a rear sway bar. It had one from the factory, but apparently it broke off somehow during the last some odd years that it was owned by somebody else. The rear sway bar broke off. So we need to put a new sway bar on there for the rear. I'd also put a new sway bar in the front already. That's already done, so the car's coming along little by little. Alright, another modification that we did to this car as well is I put a sleeper side pipe on it. Instead of the factory exhaust, you couldn't hear anything but the engine fan. So I like to hear my RPMs on an engine, and at least now it's just got from the turbo to the downpipe to a glass pack, and then it comes to a side pipe exiting before the rear tire. So you can look underneath and see a glass pack. It's a nice simple exhaust system. Nice, simple, to the point, and it works really well. I can even start it up to let you hear it, and it's not obnoxiously loud, and it's not church mouse quiet like the factory system. So I'll fire it up and you can hear it. Has a nice quiet idle. It just has a nice low rumble to it, but when I rev it up you can hear it's got a little glass pack. It'll make a little bump 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 as I let off the gas. So it has a nice sound to it. You can hear the turbo a little bit better than you could. Because from the factory you could not hear anything. It sounded like a fan going down the street. Couldn't hear anything. Some said they're going, what RPM am I at? I can't hear nothing. So that's the exhaust modification, and it did a really nice difference to the car. Also got a new front windshield on it. Has a new front windshield glass because the one that when I first got it was all punched up, you know, like somebody bashed it with a hammer or something. It just looked terrible. So there it is. I got a nice new window glass for it. So it's coming along bit by bit, little by little. Interior still needs some work, but I'm gonna probably get some nice racing bucket seats for it at Summit Racing. They got nice ones. I could pick different colors and whatnot, and then I'll just have the top of the rears redone, make the interior look nice again. That'll be kind of later down the road, but for now it's running pretty good. Runs pretty reliable, and it's a fun car to drive. It really drives nice. It's just a great driving car. So I highly recommend one if you can find one. 1980 Buick Regal Sport Coupe. Really nice cars and a lot of fun. I also put a couple emblems on the car to make it a little nicer, because there was no emblems on this to say it was a 3.8 turbo V6. So I got a bunch of emblems that I also put on my black Buick as well. Some new turbo emblems, because it does look sharp on the car, because those are original 3.8 turbo emblems for the 87, but I threw them on the 80 also because they look good. And it is a turbo V6, so I threw them on there, and it gives the car some more, just a little bit more than what it had before. So that's pretty much it for now on this Buick. And thanks again for watching Budget Boosting. If you like us on Facebook, like our YouTube channel, and check out budgetboosting.com and our window stickers. And remember, anybody can do this stuff. It's not really hard. If you wanted to know how I did the racing stripes, there's a video that we did on racing stripes about 6 to 7 months ago, maybe more. And it shows just the simple way that I made racing stripes. I mean, you can see it on the other Buick. I did the same thing on there, but I'm going with black and white instead of silver and black. So, and remember, knowledge is power. It's horsepower. Check. The 3 thousandths feeler gauge cannot get in the thing. And you can also use a 2 thousandths to see if it's even close first. Do that first. If you can get a 2 thousandths in there and the 3 thousandths won't fit, you're still within limits.